This video is going to be a tough one to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. I did a video a couple weeks ago maybe 3 weeks ago, that I posted first to my Patreon supporters saying I'm going to be out of town for a little while. I was heading out to California. My wife was getting some treatment out there for her cancer. And after a week or two out there, I posted that same video to my YouTube channel because things went awry out there. And my wife passed away last week. And she was diagnosed 3 years ago with stage 4 lung cancer. And though she wasn't a smoker, she somehow got it. And, you know, typically you don't live too long, stage 4. And she, after about 6 months or so of traditional care, traditional cancer treatment, she realized that what they were giving her was not going to help anything with her specific cancer cell. And they went so far as to admit that they only came up with a program that her insurance would pay for. So that got her researching and seeing what else was available out there, some non-traditional cancer treatment, and found something in California, which was 2 parts, really, 2 different doctors. One was a low-dose chemotherapy, and the other was a brachytherapy, which was using very tiny seeds that give off the chemotherapy, and they place them right on the tumor. And it's very effective. So here we are 3 years later, and she was heading out to California again because there was some new growth. Typically, what she was aiming to do was, once you get these treatments and you can get 3 months where there's no new growth, then you go to the next step where they make a vaccine out of your cancer cells, which is quite ingenious, really. And but she wasn't able to get there, and there was new growth. She had to go back for more of the regular treatment. And leading up to that, she was sick here in town. I live in the Midwest, so she had a couple of hospital stays prior to this, and she went out there pretty weak and somewhat malnourished, and she was unable to do any of the treatments in California. And she just got weaker, and you know, she just kind of faded on us. So that's where I've been, and I thought I would tell you because I'm going to probably take a break from this channel for a while. I had a couple of videos I'd started working on and a couple of interviews I had to cancel, so I can probably be a few weeks before I get some of this stuff back on track. And I do plan to continue this channel because it gives me great purpose, and I'm very pleased with the work I'm doing. And you know, aside to my regular job and my other things I have going on, this is a great outlet for me, so I plan on keeping busy. So I didn't think that I was a little nervous about getting my Heather home here to Milwaukee, and I wasn't able to get her home. And for a while we thought, well, maybe she could stay in hospice out there, and we could get some more people could come out and see her, like Bogey, our dog, and things. But as it turned out, when things turned, her family and my family and many of her friends came out, and we got to really be by her side. So as it goes, that's the way you want to do it, I guess. And she didn't suffer too much. But it still is a shock. It's still a loss I'm going to still be trying to understand in the coming weeks and months, I suppose. And, you know, obviously arrangements to be made. And there's difficulties when your spouse dies in another state, and some challenges of getting her back here and everything. All the things that go along with that wasn't easy. But I did have quite a lot of support out there. So I've been back here for about a week. And difficult coming back to this house where we, you know, did so much of it together. So as I said, yeah, I will be taking a small break here, and coming up on my 5-year anniversary on this channel. In December, it will be 5 years. And, you know, if you want a good laugh, you should check out my very first video, which was a review of a stereo, a Crosley stereo. I'll tell you a little something about Heather here. She was not really a music fan. Appreciated music, but never knew much about music, and was kind of interested in my take on this and how much I was into it. And God bless her for listening to my Beatles stories over the dinner table many times. But when I was planning to start this channel, she was really somebody who really encouraged me, inspired me, and pushed me, and somebody I could bounce ideas off of. And it was good to have somebody who's not really into music, because her perspective was really solid. So for those of you who like this channel, a lot of it had to do with Heather's influence and some of her pushing me, and you know, me wanting to do a good job and sure I could do a good job and things like that. So so that was great. The video I did, the Crosley record player, as many of you know, they're not high quality players, but she was a beginner. And she wanted to go record shopping with me, which she did. So we'd go out and buy some records. And this Crosley player I bought for her, which was 6 years ago, 6 Christmases ago, I think. It looked like an older 70s stereo, so it looked cool. It had a CD player, and I would make her some mixed CDs. And it also had a radio, so I could listen to the ball game or whatever. So it had stuff that, more than just the record player. And unfortunately, I had to send it back once. You know, these Crosleys don't hold up very well. But it lasted 4 years, and I got her something new last Christmas. And, well, it's actually, that room back there is the pantry. Let me just take you over there. I'll show you what I got her. Hold on one second. All right, I just walked through the dining room, and this is the pantry. And a lot of these old houses have these pantries for extra food storage. And this is a pretty good size one. And one thing I always do in the places I live, on the main living floor, I always have a stereo where I can play music and pipe the music into the kitchen, into the living room and dining room areas. Because, well, Heather and I, we cook a lot, and we cooked a lot, and typically a day I'd come home from work and she might be cooking dinner, and I say, wow, that smells really great. So I think I'll make myself a cocktail. This looks very fun. And she said, I think I'll open a bottle of wine. I said, why don't you put some music on? So then we come over here, and this was what I got her last year for Christmas, because that Crosley bit the dust. And this is an Audio Technica, and it's kind of a mid-range thing. It's a good starter, and it was perfect for her. And this is just an old receiver I had. So these are some of the albums when we first went record shopping together. This is one she picked out on her own, Pia Beck, Dutch Treat. And took a gamble, didn't know what it was. And it's just one of our it's always been one of our favorites. A couple others that are favorites of ours, Mancini, this is Charade, and then Goldfinger. So there's a lot of other stuff here. Let me show you some of her other stuff. This is when I got her. Music for cooking with gas, a la carte, music that's rare and well done. So that was kind of a funny one. She likes Psychedelic Furs. Got some Elton John. She's also a big fan of John Denver. Here's one that I had a double of and gave this one to her. This is Peter and Gordon. This is Woman. And this is one of the first albums we listened to, and I ended up really liking it. I never listened to it much until I had this double and gave it to Heather, and we listened to it at her place. And this is the very first group video I did, or artist or band video, was Peter and Gordon. It was because we were listening to this so much. And it was kind of a test for me to see, how am I going to do these band videos? Here's another favorite of hers. Breakfast at Tiffany's, more Mancini. And she's a Johnny Cash fan. So she's like Johnny Cash. And here's her favorite Christmas album. This is Amy Grant, a Christmas album. This is the one with Tennessee Christmas on it. That's the one she likes. So you can see I was able to bring her into my world a little bit. And we used to have just a great time listening to music. And picking the right mood and picking the right album for the right mood was always something we got good at and really looked forward to doing. And sometimes our dinners would last pretty late because we were just having so much fun. So this is the pantry and the stereo setup. Always nice to spin a little vinyl when you're cooking. Let's go back over here. And I see Bogey has joined us. Hi, Bubba. How are you doing? He's sad. He's kind of sad. So I understand what he's going through. But, you know, Heather and I we were together 6.5 years, and we crammed an awful lot of living in 6.5 years. And I'm very happy to have had that time with her. And I don't have any bad feelings. I would have liked to have her at least through the holidays, which I didn't expect to lose her this quickly. And she actually, because of the research she was doing with her cancer, she was going to start a YouTube channel herself, and she's got some videos that she did, and it would have been really good because a lot of people just don't know about these treatments. Some of it's not covered by insurance, unfortunately. Some is, but you know, if you want to live, you got to shell out the big bucks. So unfortunately, and this isn't really rocket science. This is not that complicated, so it's a shame that this isn't part of normal cancer protocol. And those of you who follow healthcare know why it's not. But unfortunately, that's just how it is for the moment. So anyway, thank you, everybody. Many people were sending prayers and good wishes for Heather and myself with that last video that I posted. And I thank you for any upcoming prayers and well wishes you have for us. It's always good to have that support. And I'll be back soon.